Hey friends, it's Laura. Welcome back. Excuse me. I thought we'd do a little coloring. It's something I was working on last night, and we just continue. It's out of Johanna Basford's Enchanted Forest. Little info, little tidbit. I'm fairly certain this was my first official adult coloring book. Like most people's might have been Johanna Basford's Secret Garden, since that was the first one of hers to come out, but mine was Enchanted Forest. In fact, I didn't get Secret Garden until way later. So I'll show you what I've done in this book so far. I started that page. We'll have to come back and finish that. I don't know what I was using. We'll just have to guess. I finished that page. That looks like it was done with fine liners, maybe. No, that's colored pencils. Some of these pictures, this is the one we're going to work on today. Some of these pictures are very old. Like this one I didn't even date. This was one of the first ones I did. This one we're going to need to come back and finish. This one was fine liners. And I might go back and finish some of these flowers with fine liners and then go back with colored pencil for the rest. And this one, I remember doing this one and posting it. Somebody was doing like a color along or something. I was very proud of this one. Must have taken me a very long time. There's another one. This one. So these ones I didn't date, because this was before I started dating my pages. But this was several years ago. I tried to make it look like this little area was lit up. And this one, I think that's the last one. Yeah, that's it. So this is the one we're going to do today. I'm using Arteza pencils, the pencils that we just booked up. Taking a drink. And these are the pencils that I pulled out that I'm using right now. So let's go ahead and, some of these I could sharpen now that I have a sharpener. I was working in bed on this last night, so I did not have a sharpener. So how are you all doing? Let's see, this one, these ones. Okay, and then let's sharpen this pencil. I'm just gonna do this off to the side, it's easier. This pencil's getting quite tiny. This is the matcha green. Okay, I'll keep those greens out for now, but I think I'm gonna add in, I wanna go back to this pink, and which was this pink, and do these guys. And these ones too. So I had a doctor's appointment today. It was a physical. And I think this was the pencil I was using. And we both decided that I should try a different medication for something that I'm on. And the insurance is going to be annoying about it. So we're going to have to wait and see how it goes with that. At this point, they didn't outright deny it. They just said they needed prior authorization. So we'll see. What about like some peachy? Now I need a piece. I didn't have a piece of scrap paper with me in my bedroom either. Let's try these. Oh, that's perfect. Then let's do some shading with these. finally got a video uploaded 2 days in a row. We've got somebody coming out from the internet provider. In a couple days. Actually, no, tomorrow. By the time you see this, it'll have already happened. I'm not holding my breath. They are just not reliable people. Here's some more of this stuff. My mom was on text with them yesterday, and she kept explaining to them what was going on. They're like, "Well, it's the modem. You need to reset the modem." And it's like, "No, we've done that." I'm trying to make this tree just kind of like pinks and corals and a little bit of green spotted here and there. It's very reminiscent of a tree that I have in Second Life, and it's just we really didn't talk about Mental Health Awareness Month for May. Although I happen to believe that every month is Mental Health Awareness Month. And as much as I'm afraid to talk about my mental illnesses, because I'm always afraid that people are going to look at me differently, I can't tell what leaf is what. Oh dear. I am also a firm believer that mental health should be talked about. Because if we don't talk about it, it just creates a stigma. we're going to talk about me a little bit today. So I have multiple mental illnesses plus a phobia. And I don't really think the phobia counts as a mental illness. I think it's just a phobia. As far as I know, no one's ever told me otherwise. My agoraphobia started when I was about 15. And I had to drop out of high school, and I ended up completing high school online, and that was back when you know, online high school was a new thing. That wasn't a regular everyday thing. So it was weird and new and took me a really long time. But I did complete it, and I did get my diploma. I was determined to get my diploma. I've always had anxiety ever since I was a baby. So I have always suffered with anxiety. And I always will. That is just a given, and I have come to accept that, and you know, that's just how it is. Depression started when I was about 15, when I couldn't go to school anymore, when I was stuck in the house all the time. And it just kind of spiraled from there. It's a lot better now. I'll tell you why it's a lot better now. Because at the age of, well, I don't know what age I was. This was 2019. And it's 2024 now. So just, you know, not so long ago. I spiraled. This is part of this tree, right? Yeah. I spiraled and had a complete breakdown, and turns out it wasn't a breakdown. It was the onset of schizoaffective disorder, which, for those of you who don't know, means I have a combination of symptoms of schizophrenia and a mood disorder such as bipolar. So I'm in you know, to wind it up, I'm very sick. And I am doing leaps and bounds better than I was in 2019. It took years of getting the right medications and the right doses of the medications and the right combinations of medications. It was all trial and error, and I'm doing as well as I can be. you know, life isn't easy. But it's easier than it was. There's a huge stigma attached to people with schizophrenia, that we're just scary, dangerous people. My parents know, obviously, because I lived with them at the time, and I basically live with them now. I mean, I live on my own, but I still basically live with them. And, you know, they're paying for my medical care, so they know. And I wouldn't hide something like this from them anyway. Only a couple other family members know. I have 2 aunts and I take a drink. Two aunts, and the aunt on my mom's side, I think she knows, or at least has an idea. I personally told the aunt on my dad's side, which is the aunt that lives right here. What do I want to color this? Hang on. Color these. And the other aunt, my mom's sister, knows because my cousin struggles with her mental health. And, you know, so there's some kind of, there's a connection there. And I just felt like telling my dad's sister, the one who lives here, because I felt like she should know. And I had kind of a breakdown about this the other day. That was a couple years ago, a year ago, 2 years ago. She has never brought it up since. She's never asked me how I'm doing. I think she just assumes because I put on a good face that I must be doing okay. You know, I mask really well. So that's been difficult. I have other people all the time who ask me how I'm doing, my parents or my therapist, and And there's lots of family members who have no idea about my mental illness or the severity of my mental illness. And I'm always worried that if I make friends, I'll tell them and then they won't want to be friends anymore, or I had a scare earlier this year with a medication, like a life-saving medication that I take for my schizoaffective disorder. Hang on. And the insurance was going to stop covering it. And it was a big battle with them, and lots of appealing and having to pay out of pocket at the pharmacy for a couple weeks for a very expensive drug. Eventually we did win. And now they're going through the process of, through my dad's work, because that's who I'm insured by. They're going through the process of trying to get their money back, whatever they spent for this appeal process. Oh, I also have OCD. Although it's not as bad as it used to be. I think the combination of medications I'm on at this point, same with the depression. I think the combination of medications I'm on for the schizoaffective disorder has kind of dulled, it's dulled a lot of things, but I think it's dulled the OCD and depression. In just a second, how far are we? I can't see. 30 minutes, we're good. In just a second, I'm gonna get up and get some water. I'm not gonna edit this video together. So you are just gonna hang out and stare at this picture for 30 seconds. And look at the colors. Or maybe go get yourself a drink. I I happen to live in a very small house, and my kitchen is right there. I've already got enough ice. I just need some more water. Okay, ready? Go. Hey, I'm back. Well, this looks really nice. I want a little more of that yellow. Maybe the yellow can be like coming out down here. So maybe this should be green. Let me grab a drink, hang on. I'm so thirsty. Let's leave the rest of this branch thing for now and go down to here. I want these to be yellow. The same yellow that we just did up there, because they're coming out of the tree. Can you see that? Yeah, you can. I'm gonna make the stems a different color though. No, I'm gonna make the stems the dark color. Turn the fan on in here. Getting a little toasty. Some bright blue skies outside. I'm not going to take a walk though. I just took a walk yesterday, and I'm trying to get my foot back used to walking. I think I told you already, I got my implant, like the tooth. Just the other day, and it's still bothering me quite a lot. I didn't think it was going to be an issue. But it is bothering me to chew on that side. Oops. A little bit ink missing there. Okay. So let's go. Do these lines. So a side effect of many side effects of the medications I take. One interesting one is my eyes move like that. And it's only when it's a hand-eye coordination thing. It's only when I'm doing something like writing or coloring. It's very distracting. been checked by eye doctors and, you know, all that to make sure it's nothing serious, and it's not. It's just what it is. Another big issue is my weight. You know, which I'm not thrilled to talk about, but it is what it is. I've never been like the correct weight. I've always been overweight, but I've never been this overweight, and that's from the medications for the schizoaffective disorder. They cause weight gain, they cause slow metabolism. So even if I stay under calorie for the day, for every day, get some exercise, it's not going to matter. I've lost 6 pounds this entire year. It's been a painstaking 6 pounds. I'm really proud of it, but it's just is what it is. Let's go back up here to the tree. There's some more pink. Like these areas look like they should be pink. Sidetrack from my mental health talk. I'm very interested in how this page was made as an artist, because a lot of this is mirror image, you know, so it wasn't done by hand, it was done digitally. So like, was, you know, how much of this was done by hand, how much of this was done by hand in one page, or how much of this was done in sections and dropped in digitally and then filled in by hand. I'm very curious about that. Like, was half of this tree done and then, you know, digitized to the other half and then dropped in, and then was this plant over here dropped in, and then were these plants drawn around it? Just, I'm curious, very curious. So, in an effort to try and get back some of my life, I'm hoping to try a weight loss drug. But it just all depends on the insurance, because I can't afford something like that. I mean, who can, really? Unless you're like Unless you're one of those, you know, really popular YouTubers who's making a bundle of money every month, you know, you just... That is not me, and I am just not... I'm not making any money from YouTube every month, but I, you know, the money I make from other sources every month is not... I can't afford it. So right now, the drug needs prior authorization, which is better than the last drug we tried that was just outright denied. So we'll see how this one goes. I think these should be pink too. Sorry, no, you can't see what I'm doing. I just need to be right on top of this for a quick second. Okay. Okay, now I think we'll go back to the green. Fill in all of this. I have plenty of other side effects too that are life-altering. Yeah, but they're kind of TMI, and I really wouldn't talk about them. But thank you for letting me talk openly about my mental health. And maybe I can reduce the stigma a little bit for anybody who's listening, that people with schizophrenia aren't just these scary people, or people to be afraid of. I'm not scary. If you've been listening to me for a while, you'll know I'm not scary. I'm a little socially awkward, but not scary. It's hard to have an invisible illness. Hang on, I need to scratch my back. You know, one that no one can see, no one can understand. Another big side effect, I can tell you about this side effect, memory loss. I've told you that before, that I have a really bad short-term memory. I have my mom go into doctor's appointments with me a lot. Because I can't remember what they say. done with this part. How are we doing on time? Oh, it's about time to call it quits. We did quite a lot though. So my question is, what are all these lines inside the tree? Are we supposed to color like inside those lines inside the tree? What did I do in this picture? Well, there weren't any. Well, I'll come back and figure it out next time. Looks like I'm not sure what we're supposed to do with those lines. We could make it like the inside of the tree. I'll have to think about that. Anyway, thanks for joining me. I'll put these pencils away and we can move on to another section. Like all I did was this section last night really, and move on to another tree or something. Yeah. So thanks for joining me. Thanks for letting me talk about my mental health a little bit and just kind of get it out there and maybe reduce a little bit of stigma. And appreciate every single one of you for being so kind in advance. And I will talk to you all soon. For now, take care, and I will talk to you all very soon. Bye.